Good morning, guys. Hope everybody's having a great start to the week. I'm sure you guys all missed me as much as I missed you yesterday. So no, we had a good work day today. Took a little bit off of them. Just in the time of practice. With shortened periods. Got some good work. Really focusing on fundamentals, continuing to build in that aspect. Got some special teams work. You did get some speed on speed. Just to keep keep progressing and keep pushing these guys with the speed of the game. Going back and reevaluating all aspects of Saturday. Obviously, it was disappointing. We did not play very well in any aspect. Something that I thought we were in a good place. Night before, morning of, first drive, go down and score. But we fell behind and gave up some explosive plays and really lost momentum. And I thought through the course of the game, really started pressing, trying to do things that were outside of the realm of what we're being asked to do. Throughout the course of the contest. And so we've got to continue to trust the techniques, trust the fundamentals. We'll put ourselves in a position to make a play. We've got to make a play. We had a lot of missed opportunities, whether it's drop passes, missed tackles, misfits to a gap. Those things that are critical when you're playing a team that is explosive. You got to respond and play at a high level. And I know I said it last week. Going playing against Louisville, if we didn't do our job and play at a high level, they could expose us in a couple areas, and that's something that definitely played itself out, and we just got to continue to grow in where we are and our mindset, approach in all aspects. But I thought our guys have done a good job since Sunday night. Came in, we got a practice in. Obviously made corrections today, seeing the energy level of towards improvement. I think they're truly embracing that thought process, and I thought we got better today.
First question will be Chris Meade from Noles.
Coach, on Saturday, did you feel like there was a loss of confidence within the game by the whole team? And if so, is that concerning 6 games into the season that they kind of reverted back to something that's haunted them in the past?
I think that, as we come off a game where you have success, and showed the ability of what we're capable of playing, there, at least for even part of the North Carolina game, I think it's human nature to think that you've gotten past something, or that you almost take for granted how challenging it is to win a play, or more or less a game. And I thought our guys did. I did think they worked last week. I didn't think that I didn't think they went through the motions, but when we gave up a couple of those explosive plays early, and we found ourselves behind. I think it was a little bit of a shock to the guys, and just to say reverted back or whatnot. It was they've got to play with the confidence of what they're capable of doing. We've seen swings in games. We were down 21-7 to Jacksonville State and came back and played really good football throughout. We've seen the capabilities of how we're able to play in a half of football. Those things you've got to have. Faith and belief that really it just takes one play. It takes that next play that making sure that you're doing your job, making sure that you're staying focused on the details of what you're being asked to do. And then when you get the opportunity, you got to have confidence to go make the play. That's the reality. So we had so many missed opportunities in that game that could have been the difference. And you could see that play out in the course of any game. You see that play out in the course of the season. But we just need to. We've got to build confidence through the investment of what we're doing, and then that's got to show up throughout any contest, whether you're up or whether you're down. You got to trust that going into the next play.
Next week, Antoine Staley from Dallas Democrat.
Coach, even though it was in a losing effort, your ground game was able to get going, and that was a positive aspect of Saturday. What has led to the success that you had there, and also what can you take away from just the first half of the season?
Yeah, there's a lot of takeaways. I think I'm seeing growth, and even though it was a losing effort this last Saturday. I mean, there's things that you see, growth from whether it's individuals, whether it's position groups, just overall collective mindset of how we come to work and what we're doing. There is growth going on in this program. And, I think when you talk about the run game, I think our guys are building confidence in what we're able to do. And it's, we're seeing the explosive runs showing up. We're seeing, guys that are growing up front. I mean, we're playing a lot of young guys, we played a lot of different combinations throughout the course of the year, but, that chemistry is really, starting to emerge and overall understanding. And, the thing you come back and you see a lot of missed opportunities in the run game that we had in the game on Saturday. I mean, there were some IDs or different thoughts that things that we kind of gone over that we didn't quite execute as well as what we should have that might have, provided a couple of more opportunities. And so it's just, that constant development, the constant, encouragement and growth. And then, you being able to go out there and play with that confidence, play and play out and be able to trust your eyes, trust your fundamentals. And then, those explosive plays will show up. And, as we look at a football team halfway through, I have seen an improvement in how we prepare. I've seen an improvement in the effort that we're giving at practice and the effort that we're pouring into each other. And it is a unique year in a lot of regards. And the thing with this team is being able to see the examples that build the confidence. And we've had those. We've had plays. We've had quarters. We've had halves. And being able to achieve that success. We just have to put it all together. And that's one of the things that we're pushing is just the consistency of the action and not worrying about the scoreboard, not worrying about the opponent, not worrying about all the other factors that don't really matter. Just focus on doing our job. Focus on going out there and giving everything that we have to the best of our ability, and the rest will take care of itself. And like I said, I've said it multiple times through the year, I've got a lot of confidence in these guys and what they can do, and we just have to be more consistent and being able to go out there and get it done.
That will be Irish Hotel from Warchant.
When you have some situations like either too many guys going into the wrong gap or receivers kind of running free or breakdowns in assignments, has it been more a case of guys not knowing exactly what they're supposed to do or trying to do too much?
The understanding of what to do is, that there could have been times earlier in the year. It's to a point where, when we're in a position, you got to trust your fundamentals to put you in the best place once you're aligned and, go execute that job. And I think that some guys try to do a little bit too much when you talk about gap integrity and, obviously, there's some things that showed up on film where, you got two guys out leveraging two players and not using the proper footwork and steps or this, that, and the other, and it opens up a big run scene. And those are things that we just have to consistently harp on and demand out of our guys that we are like in the moment. You have to trust those fundamentals because there were a couple of plays where it shouldn't happen. But when you don't rely on those fundamentals, you put yourself in a position to not execute, to not be able to play to the best of the ability with all the right intentions. But, everybody's got to play as 11 as one. And then there were instances in the game where we got two guys free, to make the play. We got to trust to go make the play. You're in the position, trust the training, go, fire your shot and make the play. And that's something that we have to continue to do a better job of. And, I think that's just a part of our growth. And that's one of the things that is frustrating. There were times, you wait a 3rd and 11, the first series that we're in man coverage and, we got beat on a route and there's things we could do technique wise better, being better leverage to be able to do some things like that. But even in that example, the young man that got beat on that route, 2 plays later, 2 other times later in the game, same receiver, man-to-man coverage, and he was able to win those matchups. So you talk about growth, you talk about things that's how confidence is built. You don't ever want to give up the big play. You don't ever, but when you're playing quality teams, there's sometimes you'll lose a one-on-one. right? But how do you respond to that situation? What do you take from that lesson? And, it was Jarvis, he came back two more times later in the game and was able to do his job and win that matchup and grow from it. So, those are some of the things that I see, and some of the things that showed up throughout the course of the game. But, I want guys that are confident in every aspect of what we're doing. When you're in a position to make a play, go make the play. Go trust the fundamentals. And, there's just some, in those moments, we got to be better there.
Hey, Mike, you touched on this a little bit already when talking about the run game, but I'm curious to get your thoughts on the offensive line and where maybe you've seen the most growth from that unit, I guess, from the time you guys first got here to right now, midway through the season.
Yeah, I think that they're developing, in those aspects we're talking about. I think fundamentally, Coach Atkins is doing a really nice job with them. Their understanding of the run scheme. We're trying to put them in the best position that we can with the different run schemes that we're presenting to create angles and to create movement. And these guys buy into that. And like I said, there's still some things that we're 6 games in. And we do have a good amount of versatility in our run game attack, and these guys like that. They want to be pushed. They want to be challenged, and I think that you're seeing that confidence start to emerge that they can run the football. I don't know the exact numbers. I think we're pushing close to 5 yards a carry, on the season, and that's something that is that's an objective that we want to be known for. We want to be a team that can run the football because that's going to open up everything else on the perimeter. And you saw those one-on-one opportunities present themselves. We had a handful of drop passes there in the game that would have really could have swung the game in a different way for us offensively. And that's where everybody's got to play as one. We got to maximize the opportunities when we get them, but it's all got to start there with the run game.
That could be Dean Williams for Warchant.
Hey, Coach, with the bye week and you guys have a little extra time here, when you have a unit that's struggling like your defense right now coming off of that game, can you somehow go back to the drawing board, or is it really just more we really got to more emphasize the fundamentals and trusting what you're doing more?
Well, you go back and you look at you look at the course of the first 6 games, and what is it that we've done well? What is it that maybe we don't have as good of an understanding on when it comes to concepts or fits or things like that, and making sure that we're always evaluating. And we're still, these guys have been through a lot of change and a lot of different expectations. I never talk about it first year. There's a lot of coaches that are in their first year. The difference for these kids a little bit is that they're in their first year coming off of 3 different coaches in 3 years. And or whatever, 4 years, and it's just there's so much change in expectation and obviously assignment and how to do things, and so believing in that's part of the growing in the trust of what guys are being asked to do, how they're being asked to do it. Being able to see the confidence and grow in the confidence of how that plays out, and so that's part of our growth together. And that's something that we've done defensively, something we've done offensively, special teams. Every piece of our program has to develop this week, and we've got to do a great job of coaches of putting them in the best position for them to be able to play fast, play confident, and go out there and execute consistently the techniques that they're being asked to do. And every week's going to have a little different aspect when it comes to a game plan, trying to stop what somebody else does or to be able to attack them offensively. But it all has to surround our guys and what we do. And so, but understanding those core concepts and building off of the experiences that we have, good and bad. That's going to be critical here moving forward.
Hey, Mike, I was wondering how Jordan's doing. I know it seemed like he was laboring by the end of that game, and I guess what the film showed about Chuba and kind of his debut, what you saw from him from the film.
Yeah, Jordan's doing fine. He's sore. There's still, he went in the game sore. He practiced the week prior. I was really proud of him for what he did. But that's kind of part of part of it as you're kind of cutting all along throughout the season. You're trying to be really smart with all of our guys this week. Just what we're doing, because we do need to heal up. You look at there's position groups all across our football team that are thin and that are banged up, and we've got to get some guys back out there on the field. So trying to make the most of this week to be able to do that. But I think Jordan's doing well in practice today. With Chubba being able to get him, his first game experience, I think that was critical. It was an opportunity for him to go in and kind of get a sense of the speed of the game. He missed out on the scrimmages. There earlier in the year. So to be able to see him go out and operate, he did some good things. Obviously some learning experiences just with his eyes and, progressions that he's going through. But he made some really good throws in the moments, had a couple of drops that didn't help him out. But, I liked his composure. He had a big, even on a third or fourth down situation, or his fourth down situation, be able to scramble and throw a great ball down the field, and we got to be able to finish on that. But one of the most impressive plays was seeing him step up in the pocket. He actually took a shot on one throw, and there was no hesitation. I mean, it was good to see a young quarterback do, especially a guy coming off of an injury. And so I was pleased with what I saw from Chubba, and excited about his continued development.
We'll go back to Ira.
As a guy who played wide receiver, I'm sure you've seen games where players who are dependable maybe drop a pass here or there, but to have as many as you guys had in that game, is it a lack of focus? Is it pressing, as you mentioned earlier? Any common thread?
I think, I really think, as you go through it, everybody wanting to make the play and everybody wanting to, when you have a couple, negative things that happen, whether you're down on the scoreboard, whether whether you missed an opportunity before, you just need that explosive play. With all the right intentions, you abandon your fundamentals. You start looking up the field too early, trying to score the touchdown rather than just secure the catch. And those are things like any one of those moments might be the play that gives us that kind of springs us forward. And it was. Our kids, I'll tell you, I thought our receivers did a really good job in practice last week. We're shorthanded. There's no doubt about it. Terry's out. We've had a couple different situations that occurred at receiver. Warren wasn't able to. He didn't practice much last week and wasn't able to finish the game. And so, those guys are being asked to do a lot, but in the moment, just trusting in those fundamentals, making sure that you're making the routine things routine. And, that's, one of the things that was impressive. We came up here, I guess it was Sunday, and, guys are in the weight room early, catching jugs machines. They're doing, they're working on improving. And so, we got a good group of guys that just unfortunately didn't execute better there on Saturday.
All right, Coach Ray, two more. We'll go back to Brendan.
Mike, whether it's Chubba Purdy playing late in the game, Sidney Williams, I think you've used this phrase before, Coach Fuller has as well, investing in younger players to develop them with in-game reps. Why is that so important for this program and for your philosophies as a coach to put young guys in and give them the opportunity early in their careers to kind of, I guess, sink or swim, for lack of a better phrase?
Yeah, I think there's no substitute for experience. And, when you're able to get on the field and play, and get a sense of the speed there early in your career, it really allows you to have a greater appreciation for the importance of those little things. And you're making sure your eyes where they need to be. You make sure your footwork is proper and being able to process as quick as you need to process offense, defense, or special teams. And so we played a lot of young guys. And throughout my coaching career, I've has been routinely that we have played a ton of young players because I believe in the development of what comes along with that, and then obviously with this year, not counting for their eligibility purposes, it really provides a lot of flexibility, and we've seen guys that have been able to come in and make an impact, whether it's offensively or defensively, but then also in special teams. It's been big for our program, and pleased with what I'm seeing, and that's a critical factor in what we do and how we develop our young guys. Every Sunday night, we'll do an additional 15-20 minutes just focused on guys that didn't play in the prior game, trying to help them develop. And then even like today's practice, when we finished up with the older guys, we got another 15-20 minutes with guys that are in that developmental place in their career, and whether it's a junior or a freshman, we're all trying to invest in these guys and helping them be the best version of themselves.
Last one, we'll go back to Kurt from the Democrat.
obviously new this year, kind of not being able to practice next Tuesday with election. I know it's something dating back to kind of the offseason. Marv talked about with the team meeting, wanting to get the team registered to vote. I was wondering if you had an idea of, I guess, how much of the team is registered to vote, and is you or is someone on staff kind of monitoring if and how guys are voting?
We have done everything within our I guess, ability, to try to monitor that as well of who's been registered. We've had different guys on the team, which has been really impressive to kind of say, like, there was one day Cam McDonald was down in the locker, outside the locker room with voter registration, steps of how to do that, and making sure that encouraging guys to be a part of that. And then, it's been something that's been constant throughout the semester, not just with our football teams, our athletic department. I really appreciate the push from all the student athletes and the support that has been given for our players, and the opportunity to be able to, whether it's an early voting opportunities, or it's mail-in for guys that are from out of state that have the opportunity to vote, and we try to keep those reminders for them, and then just encouragement that this is an opportunity for you to have a voice and to be able to use that voice for a significant impact, and that's it's been nice seeing our guys really embrace that.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.